Hey all, welcome back to another series of battles to the death. Today we're going to be putting Leatherface up against every Dead by Daylight killer we can. I've added a few categories to help sort out the matchups just a little bit more. Now, let's get into the rules of this. First up, all killers get their bare essentials, and I'm going to be including as much lore as I'm aware of. I am not a complete lore expert, so if I'm missing certain details, please let me know. You guys informed me about a lot of certain killers that I didn't know about before in my Myers vs. DBD video, and I appreciate that. Now, these trials take place in a random DBD map. I'm also going to be going more so into incapacitations rather than simple death. Now, by incapacitation, I don't simply mean they get knocked down. I mean something more along the lines of if Leatherface cuts off somebody's head, but oh, they're actually zombies, so they're not dead. Leatherface took the guy's head. I'm counting it as a dub. I suppose this is a way of looking at more as a who would win in a fight rather than a simple death battle. I think this rule just makes matchups more interesting rather than a good portion of it being like, well, Nurse is technically already dead. There's too many of those types of characters in the game, and I feel it just dumbs down the whole video. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so we're going to be going in order. First up, we have the Trapper. Now, Trapper has a lot of endurance, of course, and he's a strong boy as well, just like Leatherface. They're both big, strong boys. I want to say Trapper is the more intelligent of the two. He's more coherent, and he's much more self-efficient. He's more likely to remain calm within the battle. I think he takes the durability. He survived. I say survived. I'm sure the entity also influenced its survivability skills, since at the end of the day, he was human. But at this point, he's become much more durable than your average guy. A lot stronger too. Now, Leatherface has the weapon advantage for sure. The chainsaw is definitely better than the machete. This might be like the closest matchup. I think Trapper's win condition is a bit easier. Leatherface is gonna have to hack him down a little bit more, but his weapon is a lot more efficient. So like it's not like he doesn't have the tools to actually get the Trapper down. But of course, like, Trapper is also a little more intelligent, so if he manages to think a little bit outside the box, which I think he might, I think there's a chance that Trapper would actually attempt to run away for a moment. And because Leatherface isn't necessarily the greatest hunter, if Trapper can manage to get away for a moment and quickly like set some sort of trap up, I don't know. But like at the same time, if Leatherface, basically if Trapper makes one mistake though, I think the chainsaw will get him. Leatherface, I think, could take a few hits from the machete. That's really hard. This one's really hard. Oh, I don't have a... Oh, hold up. I'm actually gonna take this and I'm gonna make a... I think the Trapper and Leatherface matchup could go either way. I think that one is a really hard call, but if Leatherface, if Leatherface manages to open him up, but of course, all Trapper has to do is get one good stab at the neck, right? Leatherface is a big boy, and he has defended himself in the past. In the Netflix movie, he has used his chainsaw as also a sort of shield, and it was pretty effective against gunfire. I don't know, maybe that's more in Leatherface's favor. Like, he's definitely not smart. I want to say the edge is in Leatherface's favor, but I gotta put emphasis. I think this is really close. I think this one is very close and could go either way. Wraith, I don't think is as close. He's got his little, he does have his little invisibility, right? Coming out of the invisibility, he's gonna ding dong. And even Leatherface isn't that dumb. And the first thing Leatherface is gonna do if someone's like ding donging in his face is he's instantly gonna be swinging in that direction. I don't think Wraith takes it. I think Leather beats Bubba. Or Leather beats Bubba. Wait, oh God. Leather beats Wraith. The battle of the chainsaws. Now, Billy, I want to say, is faster based off of the game. He goes way, way faster, right? He has the mobility. And you guys also informed me that he has fought off, like, wolves and stuff like that. Leatherface doesn't... I mean, he has fought characters with guns, as mentioned. I think you guys said Billy has also fought police officers. So this is a pretty close battle, isn't it? I want to say Leatherface has more killing power than Billy. I think he's a lot more... He's a bigger boy. I want to say he's stronger. And Billy, while being a little faster, at the end of the day, he still has to, like, get in front of Leatherface's face. I think this is more so in Leatherface's favor. Billy could stand a chance, but I think Leatherface is the true master of the saw. Nurse! Now, unlike Myers, Leatherface doesn't have, like, the superhuman durability and, like, near limitless endurance, right? Nurse has her teleports, and unlike Myers, when she's going up against Leatherface, her strikes could actually mean something. And you guys also, a lot of people talked about this. A lot of people were like, oh, but Nurse has telekinesis. She has very light telekinesis. The most impressive thing she has shown to do with it is to, like, break walls with it, and it takes time for her to sort of charge that up to even break it with telekinesis. She does flip people, but it takes a moment that she might not have. The most I would think that she could do is maybe a light push against characters. She, as far as I am aware, has never been shown to do anything incredibly impressive with her teleport. Excuse me, her telekinesis. But if she does teleport around behind Leatherface and actually get, like, a good hit on him, like in the neck or something like that. But, you know, Leatherface is a big boy. He's not superhuman durability, but he's big boy durability. Dude has taken, like, stabbings and stuff, and he's been okay. Like, in the first movie, he chainsaws his leg, and he still keeps trucking. Granted, that's the leg and not exactly the neck. She has to make it count. As you all know, after Nurse does a teleport, she has a moment to strike. It's not like she's like a Dragon Ball character. It's not like she can keep teleporting after that. She has to make her strike count. If she doesn't get the hit, that moment of stun, Leatherface will take it. Leatherface will not give her a moment to breathe after that. She'll be right in front of him and right for the taking. And Leatherface is just going to shred her up. Which is why I think this is still in Leatherface's favor. She needs to make it count, and her weapon is just so... It's not quite as effective. It's not like she's gonna have, like, the time to get behind. Like, if she teleports behind the character, she has a moment for a quick strike, and that's it. Then it's just, okay, well, now it's Leatherface's turn, and Leatherface is gonna hit her like a semi-truck. It's gonna be like Hitchhiker. Michael Myers. Michael Myers. I don't know what that was. I had something in my throat. As I mentioned before, I think Michael takes this. Michael has been shown to be a combatant against many people that also know how to fight. Michael has been shown to dodge things. He is a fast combatant. If anything, he would probably overpower Leatherface if they had a sort, like, if Leatherface were to, like, take a swing, I could easily see a scenario in which Leatherface, like, Michael grabs his arms and uses his own chainsaw against him. A lot of people will be like, oh, but, like, Michael is, like, smaller than Leatherface. So here's the thing. In Michael's first movie, he lifts a tombstone by himself. Tombstones are not light. He overpowers Leatherface. His durability overpowers it. He's also a master of stealth, being able to just disappear on the fly. Leatherface is a spooked boy. Michael preys on fear. This is definitely in Michael's favor. The Hag. Hag is a nimble little lady. You know, she could definitely, like, take a little lungey lunge. And she's got her little teleport thing, like her little hag symbols. And I could see that freaking Leatherface out. Like, you know, she sets up her little trapeze. And then, like, Leatherface sees another hag. And he's like, oh my god, what is that? So if you were distracted long enough, I guess, then maybe Hag could take it. But I see a more common scenario of Hag lunging at Leatherface and being like, oh, I'm going to take a munchie out of you. And then Leatherface freaking out for maybe a solid 7 seconds. And then either whacking her on the head with the mallet and then chainsawing her in half. Or just straight up chainsawing her right there. I think it's more likely Leatherface takes it. Doctor is our first original killer that I think has a big advantage against Leatherface. I did a big old searchy on the Google, and electricity would disable his chainsaw. So he now only has a mallet. Not only that, but once the chainsaw is disabled, you bet you Leatherface is gonna be confused. He's gonna be like, what is going on here? I don't understand this. Huh? And that'll give Doctor Prime time to shock him more. And like I mentioned before, Leatherface isn't superhuman. He doesn't have that extra advantage. I don't think he could withstand nearly as much electricity as Michael could. Huntress! Huntress is definitely taking Leatherface. He's definitely taking... She is definitely taking Leatherface. Not only has she gone up against way more... I don't know about capable. I don't exactly... Did she go up against, like, Green Berets, or was it simple infantry troopers? That's something that I would definitely like to know. My lore experts, please let me know. Regardless, though, whether they're simple infantry or not, the amount of infantry that she's, like, taken out, and she's taken, like, flamethrowers to the face and stuff like that. She also has the range. Like I said, Leatherface isn't dumb enough to just, like, take hatchets to the face, right? I'm sure if he sees her winding up a hatchet, he'll use his chainsaw to guard his face, right? And he'll get in close, and if he does get a good hit, sure, it could be a good chance, but Huntress has also gone up against scared, frightened animals before, all the time. Bears, I'm sure she's killed in her lore. I mean, she has a bear skin. She's had to. She's in Mother Russia. So it's just... Leatherface is just another bear. Sure, this bear might have a bit more bite. He's got a chainsaw. I'm sure Huntress will exercise the amount of caution necessary, and I think she'll take it. Freddy Krueger. A lot of people in my first video with Michael said, oh yeah, but Freddy doesn't get his ability from fear. If you remember in, what was it? People were saying, they were using Freddy versus Jason as an example, but they don't remember that earlier in Freddy versus Jason, Freddy literally couldn't kill a teenager because he hadn't built up enough fear. The reason why he was so powerful against Jason in the first place is because he had gathered the power of fear from other people to the point where he felt confident that he could take Jason, and at the end of the day, he was still backed into a corner. And Freddy was, he was on the back end. He was gonna get his hands fed through his freaking teeth. I don't know what that means, but it means something. Until they gave Jason the fear of water, which he didn't have, at least his adult life form. He was able to enter water just fine. But against Leatherface, he is gonna have the time of his life against Leatherface. He doesn't have just one fear to pick from Leatherface. He has an assortment of fears to pick from Leatherface. It'll be so easy for Freddy Krueger to just pick and choose. It'll be extremely easy for Freddy Krueger to take that. Amanda, I don't think is going to take it. As I mentioned in my previous one, I think she actually had more of a win condition against Myers because the reverse bear trap might actually do it. And Michael, while I do think is the better combatant, I still gave it to Michael because, like, if she actually managed to get the bear trap on Michael, I think it's even less of a chance that she's going to get it on Leatherface simply because of the chainsaw. The chainsaw is going to kill people so fast. And, her getting close to Leatherface is just no buenos. I think he's going to rip her to shreds. Clown! Battle of the two big boys. Leatherface, I don't think has really been drugged all that much, and I do think that the gas would have quite a bit of an effect on Leatherface, so it could confuse Leatherface. But then Leatherface starts swinging like a madman, and the gas is shown to cause mild issues, right? Like, you can still see when you're gassed. You're just like, you're a little disoriented. And a disoriented Leatherface might be a scary Leatherface. Because he's just gonna swing at all the voices. Bro is gonna go crazy. And at the end of the day, Clown, while being a big boy, he doesn't have a very good weapon to take care of Leatherface. And Leatherface is, I would bet so much money that Leatherface is stronger than Clown. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Leatherface. Okay, Spirit. This is actually, this is a pretty cool one. As a lot of people mentioned before, yes, she is a ghost. If Leatherface manages to chainsaw her in half, I don't know what her respawn time is, but if he manages to do it, I would still give the victory to Leatherface. However, I think Spirit would actually take this one. Unlike Nurse, Spirit isn't completely disabled after she uses her ability. In fact, she could actually use her ability in short bursts and be able to use it again fairly quickly. And her katana is a very, very sharp boy. It's a very good weapon to have. So even if she maybe doesn't have as much strength, maybe she can't utilize the katana to its full capabilities because she is just a very angry teenager at the end of the day. She's a very angry teenager that can still teleport and move around very quickly. And it just takes one quick slice. One quick slice around the back of the head. I don't think she's strong enough to do a full decapitation. I don't think she's strong enough to do a full-on cut off the head. She's not doing any Mace Windu's, but she doesn't need to for Leatherface. She just needs to pierce a few organs here and there, cut some necks here and there. She's a very speedy girl. I think she takes it. The Legion are 4 teenagers with knives. I mean, if we could take it as one, then yeah, that's an easy victory for Leatherface. If it's all 4, you know, they all have knives. I mean, if they did win, they're not going without. There will be limbs lost. There will be heads lost. Like, do the sheer numbers? While Leatherface is, I don't know, because he's still like a durable boy. You know what I mean? And he was shown to handle people, like groups of people, pretty fast in the Netflix movie. He also has his mallet too. Like, he could totally like bop someone on the head and still have enough time to like chainsaw another dude. Yeah, no, Leather definitely takes it. Plague. Plague can vomit. She has her little red vomit. She needs to actually get the red vomit from Fountain. Like, the red vomit only seems to appear through certain criteria. I'll allow her to have her red vomit. Even then, though, the red vomit isn't shown to instantly kill an individual, and she can only use her vomit in bursts. And like I said, Leatherface isn't incredibly... He is dumb, but he's not super dumb. If he sees something going at him, there is a solid chance he'll use his weapon to actually take the blow. And it's not like she's shooting acid. It's literally like vomit. So it's not going to melt the chainsaw or anything like that. So I think Leatherface takes it. It might confuse him at first. I could see him being caught off guard by it, but I don't think it's enough to get her the victory. And plus, her weapon, her main weapon of choice, is just it's gonna be a lot harder for her to kill Leatherface rather than Leatherface to take her down. Ghostface is very smart. He's a very intelligent person, but as I mentioned in my Myers video, a lot of his feats come from just not being seen in general. I don't think he actually has a lot of combat experience, which is what is going to be happening here. It is going to be right up front, person versus person, right? There is no, if he can manage to stealth away, then he does have a much better chance. But he better make sure that he makes it count. But that's only if he actually manages to stealth away in general. Leatherface is a lot more lethal than Ghostface is. Like, how I envision this starting, right, is always like, they do start in a realm, so if somebody can manage to get away and sneak, like, I'm 100% certain that Spirit would very easily be able to teleport away and just do it. Even Nurse would be able to teleport to a certain location. Like, you know, she could teleport inside a building. And then, you know, she would have a moment of relief. But of course, eventually she would have to encounter her threat eventually. Same with Spirit. But, you know, Spirit would be able to, like, hide and then be able to get, like, a quick, like, jump, right? Ghostface, I don't think Ghostface really has that at his disposal, really. He doesn't really have a very surefire way of just sneaking away without Leatherface seeing him do it. It's not like Ghostface has a reputation like Michael to just actually vanish. So he's just going to have to fight Leatherface one-on-one, and I think Leatherface is the better combatant. He's bigger, he's buffer, he has the stronger weapon. I think Leatherface takes it. My cat is doing things he shouldn't be. The Demogorgon! I am so glad I did not give this victory to Michael. I was considering it because of what happens at the end of season 4. I won't go into full details, but I knew I was forgetting something. And that's that the Demogorgon, mild spoilers for season 4 of Stranger Things, in order to finally beat the Demogorgon, it had to be weakened by fire first, something that Leatherface doesn't have. And the Demogorgon is not scared of Leatherface. It is a hunter. It is going to be going in. I think the Demogorgon takes it. It is a big old wild animal, and I don't know how effective the chainsaw will actually be. Let me know if I'm wrong, though. If you guys think the chainsaw would actually be incredibly effective against the Demogorgon, then maybe Leatherface does lose. But I think Leatherface is also going to be absolutely mortified for a moment. He'll definitely attack out of fear, as he always does, but I could see the Demogorgon being, like, the Demogorgon's agility and strength just overwhelming Leatherface. Oni! Oh my god, yeah, Oni. Leatherface is a big boy, Oni is a bigger boy, and Oni has combat experience for days. He'll be a little confused by the chainsaw, being like, yo, what is that thing? But I don't think it's gonna be, oof. It's gonna be rough for Leather. Not only is it gonna be hard for Leatherface to actually, like, mow down Oni just because he's such a giant boy. I could see Leatherface, like, nicking, like, Oni's arm or something like that. And let's not forget, Oni does have some armor as well. And then Oni, as soon as realizing what the frick the chainsaw does, he's definitely gonna avoid it. He has 2 weapons. He's gonna be so perfectly fine in this experience. The Death Slinger. Now, Death Slinger does have the range, but after a single shot, the Death Slinger is going to need time to reload. And as I mentioned before, Leatherface is dumb, but he's not that dumb. Leatherface has had experience against people using guns on him, and he knows to block his vital areas, right, with the chainsaw. So I think Leatherface does take it. Deathslinger's gonna take a shot, and it's gonna take way too long for the Deathslinger to recover. Leatherface is gonna get close, and he's just gonna mow him down. Pyramid Head, I would like to apologize. I do not know where I got the misconception that James beat Pyramid Head. I don't know where I got that. I know at the end of the game, of course, like, spoilers for Silent Hill 2. I knew at the end of the game that, of course, Pyramid Head is the embodiment of James's guilt. So if the character, like, feels guilt or whatever, but no longer feels that guilt, then they disappear. And then, of course, they change it in later movies and he becomes more of an executioner. Pyramid Head is wildly inconsistent, maybe more so than any other character. So I would like to say, I would give the victory to Pyramid Head. I mean, unless you go by the guilt thing. If you go by the guilt thing, of course, Michael feels no guilt. So he would not feel that, and Pyramid Head would just cease to exist. But that's kind of boring. So in a fight, I think Pyramid Head would actually beat Michael. now. My opinion has changed on that. And you could probably make the assumption that if I think he beats Michael, I think he beats Leatherface. He's stronger, durable. Leatherface can't even like go for a cool little head thing. Pyramid Head's got a big old sword. He's ripped the lady's flesh off, just peeled her like a coconut. Not like a coconut, he didn't do that. But yeah, I think Pyramid Head takes it. The Blight has managed to take down, a lot of people say Wesker. I think Wesker would have taken it without a doubt. And also, I think a lot of people kind of exaggerate certain things about the Blight. Yes, the Blight has blighted Nemesis and Trapper and all of these things. And for a good portion of the killers, like Trapper, I'm sure he did incapacitate them in some way. But I'm sure characters like Nemesis, I don't think Blight actually took those characters down. I'm sure that was just oh, I got my serum in you, I'm bouncing. I cannot see a universe in which Blight took down Nemesis. That being said, though, Blight is really fast and has held his own. At the very least, he has survived encounters with characters like Nemesis. For that reason, I want to say Leatherface will get absolutely destroyed. The twins have the nice little added effect of there being two of them, which is cool. You know, they could both go ahead and do different things. Victor can attach himself onto... I could actually see a universe in which the twins actually take it. Like, if Victor were to pounce from the back and distract Leatherface long enough for Charlotte to get a good hit. Of course, there's also a universe I could easily see Leatherface, you know, killing Victor before anything like that happens. Maybe smacking Charlotte on the head with a good old mallet and getting Victor with a good old chainsaw. I think it's more in Leatherface's favor, just because the chainsaw can kill people extremely quickly. But I could see a universe where the twins... I might put this in and could go either way. I think it's I don't know. I think it's more in Leather's favor. When I mean could go either way, I mean like 50-50. If anything, Trapper. Ooh. I don't know. If I were to put any of these in that category, I think I would put Trapper in that category. Trickster is going to lose to... Ooh, wait. Let's think about this for a second. Let's think. He could throw his knives, and he does throw his knives with pretty good precision. As I mentioned, I don't know. Leatherface could probably take the hits, though. He has been stabbed in the legs before and has been fine. He can keep moving. He'll have a limp, but he can keep moving. Leatherface is smart enough to block his vital areas, right? I don't know. I actually think, I think Trickster loses. I think he'll get a few nicks on Leatherface, but as soon as Leatherface closes the distance, I think he'll take it. Nemesis. Do I really need to explain why Leatherface is going to lose to Nemesis? I don't think I need to explain that Leatherface will lose to Nemesis. I guess there are some people that aren't familiar with Nemesis's game. Let me go ahead and just do something really quick. So Leatherface. Nemesis has taken like rocket launchers to the face. He's been blown in half. He came back. He's drowned. He came back. He's been shot by like Death Star lasers and I shouldn't say Death Star lasers, super lasers. And he would have regenerated and come back. Anything that Leatherface does, Nemesis quickly recovers from stuff like that. Nemesis is also intelligent. It is more likely that Nemesis kills Leatherface with his own chainsaw than Leatherface does anything to Nemesis with his chainsaw. Nemesis is taller, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's smarter. Yeah, Leather's just not winning. It took a nuclear bomb to finally kill Nemesis. Pinhead is definitely going to win. He is absolutely going to win. It's so easy. He can use his chains in so many ways to catch Leatherface off guard. It's going to be brutal for Leatherface. There's no way that he's going to stand any sort of chance against Pinhead. Artist is kind of interesting. Artist might actually win. The crows, you know, she could like send crows at Leatherface. You know, the crows are actually gonna pick at Leatherface. And it might be enough of a distraction. Could she kill Leatherface though? Because the actual, like, I don't know if the crows themselves are actually, it's gonna be annoying as hell for Leatherface. But is it actually going to take Leatherface out? And like, because she actually needs to go in there. And the only way I could see her killing Leatherface is, you know, if she does like the whole Mori thing, or she has to like do a little bit of goopy and say, here comes the airplane to Leatherface. And I don't know if Leatherface would give her the opportunity to do that. It'll be really annoying for Leatherface, but I think he'll still take it. Sadako will definitely kill Leatherface. There isn't even a supernatural factor to consider with Leatherface. It's not like, oh, could he survive a heart attack? He will die. She will look at him and she will die. Dredge, you guys informed me a little bit more on the Dredge, and he's pretty cool. So Dredge is kind of like a boogeyman guy that also kind of feeds off of like fears and stuff like that. And, you know, he could just send Leatherface to the sweet, dark void abyss. I don't even know if Dredge can fully... I believe it said Dredge will always exist as long as someone in the universe is afraid. And, you know, I'm still pretty scared of snakes, so I hate needles, dude. Wesker. Okay, so first off, I got... You guys lied to me. A lot of people were trying to upplay Wesker because they didn't like that I said that Nemesis is more durable than Wesker. Spoilers for Resident Evil 5. At the end of Resident Evil 5, Wesker dies to 2 rocket launchers and lava. Something that would not kill Nemesis. I am not saying that Wesker is not more powerful than Nemesis. He is stronger than Nemesis. Nemesis just has higher durability than Wesker. You all said, the developers said that Wesker would take out 5 Nemesises. This is not true. You guys once again lied to me. He could take out tyrants. Mr. X tyrants, not the variant that Nemesis is. Mr. X is very different from Nemesis. Mr. X died to a rocket launcher. Something that Wesker also succumbed to, right? It took 2 in lava, but he has never been a nemesis. All right, I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people were spreading misinformation about Wesker. Wesker is still stronger, faster, smarter, but Nemesis has him beat in durability. That's all I was saying. Of course, though, I mean, he's like a superhuman, super soul. Of course he's going to take Leatherface. Leatherface is slow. Wesker will dodge anything that Leatherface is going to be throwing out. There's nothing that Leatherface could really do to catch Wesker off guard. The Knight... Once again, his armor alone, I think, is going to get him the victory. You guys informed me that he has, like, cut people in half with his sword and stuff with that, which is awesome. The chainsaw is not going to be getting through that. Some people were trying to fight for Michael's case, being like, oh, well, Michael will hit through the chinks of armor. Leatherface doesn't even have that because his chainsaw is a lot bigger, so I don't think he's going to get through that. Skull Merchant. Yeah, Leatherface will take it. Leatherface is taking that. I don't think I have to explain too much, but I guess I'll get into it at the end of the day. She has her drones and she has a claw, but, you know, she's your average lady. Leatherface has plenty of experience in killing ladies. She just has a little bit more than your average Sally. Singularity, you guys also informed me a bit more on the Singularity. His durability is very wild. He got hit by a big old bomb. Apparently, he's got like adamantium. He's got very strong metal for his armor. So, of course, I'm going to give that to Singularity. The alien is definitely taking it. I am sorry, you guys. A lot of people... I like that this video has also turned into like an apology for certain matchups. I don't know why I even contemplated as much as I did against the Xenomorph with Michael. Even if Michael managed to, with his superhuman strength, managed to open the Xenomorph, at the most he would get a stalemate. If he even managed to do that, of course the Xenomorph is ridiculously fast, very efficient killing creature, acidic blood, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Alien's cracked. Chucky! Chucky's a nimble little guy. You know, if Chucky were to actually beat any horror character, I think he would stand a better chance against Leatherface. He's a really hard target to hit, actually. And do not be fooled. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's a doll, so, you know, I'm just going to toss him. Chucky, while looking like a doll, has the strength of a man. That being said, I still think Leatherface is stronger than that. But Chucky is actually pretty good at killing people, too. He's very fast. He's very nimble. He's a really hard target for Leatherface to hit. Of course, as Leatherface catches the little guy, yeah, he's dead. He's super dead. But I think Chucky has a bit more of an edge because he's just so nimble and fast. I think it'd be very easy for Chucky to just kind of keep running around, and Leatherface would definitely, like, Chucky, I don't think, he's one of those rare killers that I think he's so fast, he could easily jump and hide and sneaking in the little shadows. And unlike a lot of other killers, while yes, like a decap will definitely kill him, he's been shot by guns and it did kill him. He had to be revived. He does have a certain supernatural amount of durability as well. So it's not like if Leatherface even catches him once, it's necessarily like a, oh, this guy might be dead completely. Chucky could squirm away and still have another opportunity. So I actually think he has an advantage here. You guys also inform me on the unknown. A lot of people have different ideas of the unknown. Once again, the unknown seems to be a mystery, which is funny that. It's very vague. A lot of people are like, well, he's similar to a sort of like Freddy Krueger or Dredge in that if you're afraid of something, he's sort of like can use that against you. But then other people are like, oh yeah, but like his UV things are super powerful. But based off of fear alone, of course, one that we said, Leatherface is afraid of a lot of things. So we're going to give that victory to the unknown. Vecna. Anytime anyone would say anything about Vecna, it was basically like they were like, "Oh yeah, he is a god." so he'll beat Leatherface. I don't really want to read up on all the lore because there seems to be a lot of lore, and I just don't want to do that. I'm going to trust your guys' judgment and be like, yep, all right, he'll win. And last, we have Dracula. Of course, we don't actually have Dracula within this tier list yet. He's not officially out, so he hasn't been added to like a lot of things yet. And Dracula is extremely cracked. He has so many spells. He can shapeshift. He can do this. He'll definitely beat Leatherface. So we're going to pretend Leatherface here is Dracula. And he would also win. I think this was actually a pretty interesting bit of matchups. I think I want to do Huntress next. I think Huntress doing her matchups could be very interesting. I tried to actually record for a few of the more powerful characters, and I think it's kind of boring. Like, talking about Wesker, it would just be like him killing like 95% of the roster. You know what I mean? I think these closer characters, like these in the middle characters, are a lot more interesting. Freddy Krueger, I think, could be a very interesting one to do as well. But let me know in the comments below what you would like to see next. If you guys want to keep seeing these sort of videos, Thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.